Hey guys, welcome back to another Ferrari Formula 1 Evolution video illustrated with 1/18 scale models. This is the 2002 Ferrari F2002 made by Hotwheels Elite. I bought this car off eBay with the tobacco livery already applied for just $53. While the livery is not perfect, a model like this would likely sell for much more than that today. In any case, this car was driven by Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello, and after success in the 2000 and 2001 seasons, I think many would have predicted a good car for 2002, but I don't think anyone anticipated the F2002 to be one of, if not the greatest Formula 1 cars of all time. After some pretty significant rule changes in 2001, Ferrari again worked on evolving off their 2001 design and made some pretty big changes for the F2002. It also has the now iconic Vodafone Marlboro livery. Interestingly, Ferrari started the 2002 season with the F2001B. They didn't debut the F2002 till the third race at the Brazilian Grand Prix, where only Schumacher got to drive it. That weekend, the F2002 outqualified the F2001B by 7/10 and ended up winning the race. Many of the advancements on the F2002 can't be seen, such as the revised suspension front and rear, a smaller, more efficient gearbox, and a reduction in the car's overall weight, which allowed the team to move ballast front and rear or however they would like based on the track and track conditions. Aerodynamically, the changes were very noticeable. The front wing had a unique shape to the upper element. It also had these sharp points right here that would create vortices to help control airflow the way they wanted downstream. There was also a crest in the center of the wing that meant more surface area and more downforce. The two-element design was very efficient in making downforce without the drag penalty. This was important as while the latest V10 pushed out somewhere around 880 horsepower, the BMW V10 and the Williams had a clear advantage in overall power output. Yet Ferrari maintained to be competitive on the straights. The barge board saw considerable change with this lower edge or panel right here, which not only effectively increased the surface area of the floor, but these sharp points along the edge would create vortices which would help the efficiency of the floor and diffuser. Also make note of the radiator intake ducts, as the airflow coming out from under the nose would flow right up into these ducts into the radiators, which allowed the car to have good cooling without a heavy aerodynamic penalty. The side pods were an area of big gains. The radiators were installed on an angle to keep the center of gravity low, but this also allowed the bodywork to be as tight as possible. Now, I have talked about the Coke bottle design in previous videos, but this was the first time Ferrari really focused on the upper part of the bodywork. Basically, from the radiators on back, the bodywork was dramatically tighter in comparison to the F2001. The kick-ups in front of the rear wheels were no longer attached to the main bodywork, but instead come from these long planks right here, which is a much more streamlined design. The winglets stayed pretty much the same as in 2001. The periscope style exhaust now comes up higher and points directly backwards rather than shooting the exhaust upwards toward the rear wing. This meant less disturbance to the rear wing itself. The exhaust pipes were also shielded with some bodywork, which also served as an opening to let the underbody heat extract. The bodywork was now formed very tightly around the smaller gearbox and redesigned suspension uprights. While the rear wing was pretty much the same design as the F2001, it was being worked far more efficiently because of all the changes to the side pods and engine cover, which meant it was much better airflow towards the rear wing itself. This meant a great deal more downforce and a likely reduction in drag. The rear diffuser started to see some more curves in the strakes, and it was worked a lot harder by other changes like the barge boards we mentioned earlier. All of this meant the F2002 was about 1.3 seconds faster than the already amazing F2001. While in qualifying, the 2002 car was only about a quarter of a second faster than the Williams. Some of that comes down to tires, where the Michelins had a better performance over a single lap. However, in race conditions, the Ferrari was on average 8.5 tenths faster than the next best car. Perhaps more impressively, the car was nearly bulletproof and the team made very few mistakes. Unfortunately, the car had two gremlins that prevented Rubens Barrichello from starting two races, both of which he likely would have finished on the podium. However, in the 15 races Schumacher had with the F2002, he was able to take 10 wins and 5 second-place finishes. Now think about that for a second. Never did he finish outside the top two. He finished the season with a record-breaking 144 points versus the next driver at 77 points, who was his teammate. In fact, All 77 points Rubens scored was with the F2002 since he DNF'd in his few races with the F2001B, finishing second in the championship in really only 12 races. After a ridiculously dominating season, there was complaints about F1 being boring, a lack of competition, etc., etc., so the FIA stepped in to shake things up. But would it be enough to stop Ferrari's reign? Well, we'll talk about that next time when we review the F2003 GA. So if you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos, and thanks for watching.